Alright guys, today we're going to look at how to divide rational expressions. Alright, so to divide rational expressions, we're going to multiply by the inverse, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our second rational expression and we are going to flip it and multiply. So instead of dividing, we're going to flip the fraction and multiply. Same thing that you would do if you were to divide by 1/2, you would multiply by 2, you flip the fraction and multiply. Same thing here. So we've got 5p divided by 16p to the third, and we're going to multiply by the opposite, right, the reciprocal of this. Now you shouldn't say reciprocal because we're not going to change this sign, but we're just going to flip the fraction. Alright, so this is going to become 8q to the fifth on top. On the bottom we've got 35p squared q squared. Now again, we can look to cancel out, okay, so we can cancel out this 8 and this 16. That becomes 1, that becomes 2. Here we've got a p on the bottom. That cancels out with that exponent. Q cancels out with that exponent. This 5 cancels out with a 35. That becomes 1. That becomes 7. So on the top we've got 1 times 1 times q to the fifth. On the bottom we've got 2 times 7 times p to the third times p times q. So we've got 2 times 7, that's 14. P to the third times p, that's p to the fourth. Q times nothing is q. Alright, now I see q to the fifth on top, I see q to the first on the bottom, so we can use our exponent rules. That's going to be q to the fourth on top over 14p to the fourth. Remember, always get it in its simplest terms. Alright, same thing with number 10, or sorry, number 14, we're going to flip the second fraction, so 4x minus 8. We're multiplying by x squared plus x minus 6 over 2x squared plus 6x. Now again, always look to factor if possible, right? So I see a GCF here, so this is going to become 10 over 4, x minus 2. GCF is 4. We're multiplying by, we can factor this into x plus 3, x minus 2. We can factor this, GCF here is going to be 2x, so it's going to become x plus 3. Alright, now let's look to cancel. I see x plus 3 on top. I see x plus 3 on bottom. Bye-bye. I see an x minus 2 and x minus 2. See you later. I see a 10. I see a 2. Bye-bye. So on the top we've got 5 times nothing, 5. On the bottom we've got 4 times x, 4x. Let's look at number 15. Number 15, let's go ahead and factor out a GCF here. So I'm going to factor out 2a squared. This is going to become a minus 6 over. I can factor this. Factors of 12 that add or combine to give me a negative 4. It's going to be a minus 6, a plus 2. We're multiplying by. Now let's look to factor this. So factors of 15, 5 and 3. They're both going to be negative. So a minus 5, a minus 3. Now once again, we're opposite, right? We're doing the inverse. We're flipping it. So that's why it's on top. On the bottom is going to be this piece. I'm going to factor out an 8. I'm going to factor out actually a negative 8a squared. If I factor out a negative 8a squared, it's going to give me a negative 3 plus a. Alright, now, I want that to be that, right? It's the same thing. Negative 3 plus a is a minus 3. Same thing. That's why I factored out the negative here. Alright, so that, bye-bye. X minus 6, x minus 6. See you later. Negative 8 divided by 2. We can cancel those out. That's going to become negative 4. A squared, peace. So on the top, we've got a minus 5. On the bottom, we've got negative 4 times a plus 2. Okay, now you can leave it like that, or you can say this is a minus 5 over negative 4a minus 8. Same thing. Alright, number 16. Number 16, again, we're going to flip this, because this is divided by, so we're going to flip this, so this is going to be k plus 3 over k, times 1 over 4k plus 1, times, now let's look at this right here. This is a difference of 2 squares. So it's going to become 4k minus 1, 4k plus 1 over k plus 3. Now again, I didn't flip that one because that's multiplied. I'm only flipping the divide. So that becomes 1 over k plus 1. Alright, here we go. Let's look to cancel if we can, because these are all multiplied together. So 4k plus 1, 4k plus 1. Peace. K plus 3, bye-bye. So on the top we've got 1 times 4k minus 1. On the bottom we've got k times nothing. Okay, now I can leave it like this. I don't need to write the 1 times it. Or I could say this is 4k over k minus 1 over k. Right? This is this fraction minus this fraction. Okay, so 4k divided by k, that's gone, so we got 4 minus 1 over k.